YouTube, what's good? In this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how I defend Coastline on all the bomb sites, even Penthouse. I mean, who defends that site anyway, right? But anyways, I want to be teaching you guys everything, how to win more games, what to rotate, how to roam and anchor on all of the sites. So make sure you guys are tuned in for the end of the video. I haven't done these map guides in a while, but I'm getting back into them. I'm going to be doing an updated version on all of them from a few months ago. But I'm going to keep you guys updated how you guys can win more games on Coastline defense. So if this video did help you, make sure you guys drop a thumbs up and please subscribe. We're almost at 6,000 subscribers and almost 5K on Twitch. We're going off TikTok. Y'all are awesome as well. So make sure you guys enjoy the video. Alright, let's get right into it. So Coastline, I'm going to be starting off anchoring first, and then I'm going to be roaming the second time on the same bomb site. So I'll leave timestamps for all that below in case I don't want to waste your guys' time. So if I'm going to anchor on Hookah, my first thought of anchoring is obviously staying on site, but how can I deny people from coming in, walking in, rushing into Hookah? So I'm going to pick Smoke for this one just because he's so important for rotates. This site, you must have at least 2 rotates. If you don't, kind of screwed. So what I usually start off with a Smoke, I reinforce the middle right here. And if you're solo queuing, remember this 10 reinforcement pool is so good that you could literally reinforce like half the bomb site yourself if your teammates are that bad. But what I started to figure is putting a rotate above like this. The reason I don't do a crouch one is just that it's just a lot more exposure to the aqua, and this way you're also able to throw smokes while having a little bit of recovery, you know. It's just, and then you can vault over if you want, but I personally like to make it like this. Sometimes I'll make a double hole right here, but it kind of depends what my team is. In case you know they're coming from here, they can actually get shot from aqua. So I actually kind of decided I want to keep this closed off, but this is optional right here if you want to do it too. If someone's playing right here, it just really depends on, you know, where people are playing at. So should I open up the hatch? No. The reason why, because sound reasons as well, and people can shoot you from below it. But you should have that open if you want to have like a late rotate flank. The next rotate you should do, always make sure this wall is reinforced. I always see when I'm done reinforcing pink wall over there, I'm like, why is this wall not reinforced? But don't reinforce off this wall. You want to make a rotate. By the time you get used to these rotates, you can decide how you kind of want these, but most of the time you want them crouched. Just be careful with walking over there. The next one is if you're holding this single wall right here, you can get shot from VIP halls, so you want to reinforce off this wall. Most likely you guys will have extras. So the next one, very, very important. This is always not reinforced. I don't know why. To like the last 10 seconds, and then you're gonna get shot from ruins. So make sure if you have nothing to do, I guarantee you guys will have like a vigil, alibi, some useless, like not useless, operator doesn't have a lot of time to set up, you know. So you want to reinforce off those 2 walls. So that's what, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So you have 3 reinforcements left. Always make sure VIP wall is open. VIP. Got my English today. So yeah, the reason you want to reinforce off these walls is because if someone even if they don't end up pushing here, it eliminates that angle from here into pink bar in case you need to anchor this place, and you don't have to worry about getting shot. Also, like, you know, it's really hard to hold this area if this wall or this wall gets opened up. But if you're holding behind this area right here, right, think about the ways you can die. You can die if someone rushes this hallway, comes up cool vibes, big window, running from Hookah, and obviously from aqua. So it's really nice to sit in a position where you are kind of safe from those angles, but you're also very wary, I don't know the word, you know, I'm like aware that if you're picking this angle, you're exposed to those angles. So, but you don't really want to be picking ruins too much with the SMG-11 unless you're like, you know, trying to go for some bolo shot. Holes right here is really optional if you want to have holes below the default plant spot. It really disencourages people to anchor that, to plant right there. And the shield you can either put right here facing VIP, or personal preference, you can put it right here. That way it's a little bit easier to hold Hookah, you know. And you just smoke off that way, and you know, you just smoke off wherever they're coming in from. And don't be afraid to use your smokes early, because if an Ash or like Blackbeard's getting on the window, Hookah window, they're flashing, they're smoking off Hookah door, it doesn't hurt to use a smoke grenade, right? Because by the time you end up using that, they're already planting, they're either taking control. So don't be afraid to use your smoke grenades early. So let's get onto the roaming part of the hookah bomb site. So roaming is like not always off site, but at the end of the round, when it comes to the last 30 seconds, you want to be coming back to site, unless you're hitting some nasty flank. But the reason you want to be coming back to site is that you kind of need all like the man advantage and gunpowder that you need for wherever the planting, if it's on the B site or the A site. So as Jaeger, I would start putting my ADS down. The best ADS spots to put in is kind of put around where your team is playing. If I'm still looking, for example, I don't want to put an ADS in Aqua Bar if I have a lot of people roaming and no one's playing here, because then that's just wasted utility, you know? Or maybe even like right here, you know? Like, yeah, you'll be able to catch a couple flashbangs, but what does it do, you know? It's not at its full potential. So I usually put barbed wire close up to here if no one's playing Aqua, because they're going to get control of it anyway. And there's no reason to contest it by putting free barbed wire, like maybe like right here. It's up to you guys. I mean, this is also a decent barbed wire spot right here if you don't want them to walk in, but I personally like to put it right here. That way it's kind of more informative that they are close to the bomb site and that they are a quote-unquote threat, you know? So I put the ADS behind here just because if they try to flash me and nade me, it can catch that. So it doesn't like, I like to put my ADSs so where it can catch like good stuff, you know, and not just like so people can just burn it. But it honestly, they will burn it, but it's just a matter of kind of putting your utility close to you. That's what I mean to say. I put one right here because yes, it might not catch the grenade, but if I'm playing up here, it can catch flashbangs from here, possible nades, flashbangs from here. So it's kind of a 2-in-1, you know. I always put barbed wire on this doorway for those ash rushes, and then I kind of put one on the side right here. The reason I don't put this one on the wall anymore is because they can actually shoot it from the window. So I like to actually put it on the floor. Just, you know, little habits along the way. And by the time you're putting all your stuff down, Jaeger has like one of the most stuff you got to put on site. So it doesn't hurt to reinforce a few walls that are missing as well. So, but general tip, no matter what site you're on, if the most important walls are not reinforced, you want to try to reinforce those, even if it means delaying your roam, delaying your position, maybe for your life. But if it's 5 seconds left and these two walls aren't reinforced, I would go ahead and reinforce them, because it's gonna matter in the late round, and then you can go back to your roam. So the places I roam is mostly either I hold sunrise or I'm sitting over in service area. The reason being is because some people like to enter from here to take control of the whole bottom floor. A common spot to enter in is from blue bar and offices side, right? You already know from those offices, people like to rush it. It's just cutting off those rotations of people coming up the stairs. By the time you play the game a lot more, you'll understand. But I'll try to delay as much time as I can down here, and if no one's coming downstairs yet, they're mostly on the hookah windows, or maybe they're on the aqua balc, I would either go up wide stairs, punch open the luggage window, and try to put pressure on the balcony. Otherwise, I would try to peek these windows a little bit, but don't peek them too aggressively, or you don't want to waste your time early as a roamer. Otherwise, if I'm kind of shooting people here and there, and then eventually a few people are getting picked on site, I come back to site and I start playing site. Yes, roaming is good off-site all the time, but if it's a 2v4 and you're off-site and your smoke is battling for his life on-site, you've done a bad job as a roamer. And it's time for you to start getting some picks to even out the man advantage. So we're going to start off with anchoring on kitchen. So kitchen is like pretty easy to retake other than the hookah if it's a post plant, just because of how much access you have to the site. And there's a lot of spots for people to sit in most of the time, including vertical play. So as a smoke or an anchor, if you were to have a shield, put it right here, kind of in the middle. You'll kind of master the spot once you kind of play it more. And you want to also obviously reinforce off this wall. Don't reinforce off the rotate, as always. And some people don't really know how to make the rotates in this one. I honestly like to make it just the full part open, because in case I needed to pick this reinforcement, this piece of wood would be in my way. So, and if I needed to rotate safely behind the bomb, you know, so I just make the rotate as big as possible, kind of as I can right here, but not, you know, obviously not over to be too big. But either you can put the shield right here, and then you can watch for the kitchen run in, boom, shotgun, or you can use a shield to kind of contest the spot right here. it's really hard to deal with the shield if people don't cooperate on the other team, like going above, nading, etc. You can start smoking this off mid round. But otherwise, another good shield spot is right. You can either obviously, like, the default clip it right here, and then you can throw your smokes. Same thing. Another thing is that I don't people see a dog doing is obviously reinforcing up these walls. Also, do not reinforce off these this last wall here. Very, very important. Most of the time you want to keep this open just for late round purposes. It's also, if you have extra reinforcements, which you probably will because kitchen doesn't have a lot of reinforcements, is to reinforce off the second wall to the left or right, whatever. The reason being is because you can kind of be safe from this right here. And then if you want to, this is a pretty like small anchor point. You can throw smokes over, and then you can make some holes right here in case you want to see like a run in. If someone like runs in, you can bam 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 bam. And then also this, you want the soft, that way people don't run in and plant right there. But it's just really good to utilize these walls. That way you don't have to throw smokes over like this, or you don't have to pick these bars because that's where enemies can be watching, right? So you wanna, it's pretty good to utilize your walls and your angles to use. The shield right here, the thing about that is just it's really easy to clear it with it. Like, even if you have an ADS right here, people could Zofia it, and it's just a shield gone right there, right? You want to make shields kind of tricky to get, even if they will destroy it. It's worth a try because some players you'll catch off guard. So as an anchor, if they start hitting above you, don't waste your life on this shield. This shield is not that important all the time. It's just to apply pressure on the run-in of sight. So if some people are blocking above you, you can either fall back to service, or you can run up here and tuck in this corner if you want for a bit. But that is if you have sunrise and blue bar control. But you don't want to expose yourself too much to these angles. So just be careful where the enemies are, and just delay as much time. And if it comes to the point where they are getting a lot of control upstairs, you want to start aggressively peeking those holes. Maybe just make sure you're smart with your smokes. And eventually, once you, on this site especially, as a smoke, the last 30 seconds are in your favor like 70% of the time. The only way you lose a round of smoke is if you obviously misplace your smokes, you miss your shots, always like that. But he's really, really important on a site like kitchen, where the doors are the run-in and windows, and that's where he's really powerful on. So let's move on to the roam side of operators I recommend for roaming is Jaeger or Mozzie, and Vigil is good as well, but personally I use guys. I'll go Jaeger one more time. I was gonna pick Mozzie, but I think Jaeger would be a little more helpful. So obviously I would put the default ADS right here in case just for like safe measures. Put barbed wire right here if no one else has it, just because you rather have someone punch it than run in and just kill everybody, because some people will do that, and you don't want to be caught off guard on a lot of these angles, because like if it's such a stupid angle, why do you die to it? Exactly. I also put barbed wire on this kitchen window in case someone does decide to run in. You can kind of have a little bit alert before they meet you at this angle right here. And I put an ADS on the side, anywhere under the window, to be honest. And the last ADS, either I would put it for the shield right here in case someone is holding it. The thing about a bathroom ADS is just I'm not really holding bathroom too much unless I'm swinging on it. So you can decide if you want to put one right there, or you can just put another one behind here. That's why I recommend all three ADSs to put one behind this bar in case for any flashbangs, one on the doorway, and then one on this kitchen window area. In case I'm holding that shield, you want to make sure you have the reduced to reinforced, 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 and then reinforced. So let's get to the roaming side. When I'm roaming, especially on a spot like kitchen, it's important to apply vertical pressure, but not wasting your life over it. And another thing is, obviously, wherever else they're coming in from offices, I want to make sure I'm kind of like that first line of defense before they hit site most of the time. So roaming offices is okay. It's just you kind of take on that early gunfight, and it's possible you could win one, but you could lose one. But I don't want to take the high pressure. The thing about roaming, I always think of is, if I were to die early, did I help the team enough? That's why I always ask myself, did I waste enough time? Did I get a pick? Did I even apply pressure? So, if you're holding Sunrise, if you're getting zoned out heavily and using a lot of flashbangs, don't be afraid to give it up, because if you're outnumbered, you will get refragged, and possibly you might even die to the first person. So you can actually wallbang the door from here if you just kind of spread this a little bit. You can set off some warning shots, but you don't want to send too many, peek too much, or it's going to get head cut off. But it's always good to, if you're contesting an area, to take warning shots, because you have a lot of ammo. You want to be confident in yourself and possibly pressure them. They will get pressured if you start sending off those shots, and they're going to spend a lot more time. Wasting time as a roamer, so you're ideal. Don't worry, picks will start coming to you whenever, like, later in the round, but don't rush your kills, because it will end up biting you in the butt if you keep putting on that aggression. So if someone's flanking upstairs, my idea is to, alright, I'm going to start flanking up, and I'm going to stay here for a bit, and possibly make some holes right here, and kind of catch them off the rotate. Once the people are above, either they're going to jump out the VIP window, or they're going to come out in the hallway somewhere, and that's where I kind of catch them off guard, but unless you want to flank them. So the thing about roamers is that on this probably kitchen, if the anchors die, the attackers will have sight in a matter of seconds. So I make sure I'm not roaming too far away, and I'm always ready to come back to sight. Because if smoke dies holding kitchen, and nobody else is in kitchen, only one person in service, I'm getting back to sight immediately. Because people can jump in the window, they have full sight control of kitchen, and line the sight into service. If someone walks in the service, it's kind of vice versa. You want to make sure you're able to retake successfully. So let's move on to blue bar. Again, I'm going to be going smoke. It's just smoke such as a powerful operator on a map like Coastline, where all the walls are soft and rotation in between sites are very, very important. So first thing off, don't reinforce off these walls. The reason being is, but what if you can get shot from... But you're not holding blue bar. No one's actually sitting in blue bar unless really situational, where the attacker's coming in from, because you can get shot from the window, all this stuff. But the reason this is open, because if they take blue bar, you can go anywhere and shoot them behind the bar. So the two reinforce. You always make sure these two walls are reinforced. And on a site like this site, blue bar, you want to maximize your reinforcements. So 1, 2, and then you can put 3. And 4 is optional right there. So 4, 5, 6. You want to reinforce off these two jungle walls, because if you're holding behind here, this is a very good spot to smoke, to anchor right here. You don't want to get shot from main lobby, and you don't want to have to keep scrambling around and get your head popped out. So you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the substitute reinforcement is this wall right here. On this wall, you want to at least have 1, but if you don't reinforce 2 walls on this wall, then you can reinforce the hatch if you want to, if no one's gonna be roaming up there. That way people have to keep dropping and all that. But some good shield spots are right here, obviously. Another one close up to right here. People sometimes attach it to this wall right here, but what good does it do? You can't see anything. So you kind of want to put it in a spot where you're contesting that room, and don't be scared, because you're a smoke with a shotgun, you can easily pop them. Ask Jaeger to put some ADS down for you. If not, it's up to you where you want the shield at. But some good smoke spots are, yes, right here, but be careful, you can get shot from main lobby or this hallway right here. And then you can play behind this bar, you can play right here, and make yourself some peek holes. Always make a rotate right here, by the way. I forgot to make it earlier. Make a rotate right there so you guys can walk in through that. And again, don't be afraid to smoke off early. If someone is rushing offices, don't be afraid to toss a smoke over there. Or let's say if they're heavily pushing mudroom. The thing about mudroom, I would only smoke it off if, because the thing is, if they run in, they have a lot of angles to be shot at from. So I would rather use smoke on if they're actually multiple in there, and I would just toss one at the doorway. The thing about some smoke grenades, some people throw it really deep in here, which is fine. But I like to use my smokes for an entry denial, obviously. So I always try to put it on some sort of part of the doorway. That way when it smokes off, the whole doorway is blocked off and they can't run in without taking damage. And another thing to worry about is if you're holding behind sunrise right here, remember, think about the angles you can get shot from. You can get shot from, if you're holding right here, you can get shot from the window, you can get wall banged, or not wall banged, shot from that doorway, and this main lobby angle right here. This has got me killed multiple times. So always be careful of this lobby angle, because someone will most likely be holding it. And attackers are probably going to be rushing it from kitchen, above you, or from this office door. So be ready for anyone coming through there, and don't be caught off guard. Also remember, check cams. Check cams early on and see where they're all coming in from. And yeah, as a shotgun SMG player, this site is really beneficial to you, as it's really close range and you can basically shotgun anybody rushing in. The shotgun is a sniper, so don't be afraid to use it. And so anchoring or roaming on this site is pretty similar. Like you wanna, like, even if you are a roamer, you're still really effective if you're moving around in the site, just because how big the site is and how many are. So if I were to go here and I were to pick vigil, what I would be pressuring, and my idea is either I'm trying to hold kitchen or like contest off a spot, that way attackers don't get map control to be able to take site pretty easily. So I would, if you were to hold kitchen, you would reinforce off this wall right here. You could possibly do a mirror strat if you wanted to. I recommend watching a lot of TSM on Coastline and SSG. They like to put their mirrors right here if they were, or like a pulse, or a you know, kind of any kind of intel to help contest this area right here. But if you could test service and you get a pick and you die, that's actually pretty good, because even though it's a one-on-one trade, you still get that man count disadvantage a little bit for the other team. And holding main lobby is pretty decent, because then you cut off all of those security rotates, like trying to get this angle right here, main lobby pushes and all that. But if you were to roam above, you would try to be careful of pre-placed drones, people coming in from basically everywhere upstairs, your roof. But most of the time they're going to be pushing Aqua and Hookah, because they're trying to play vertical play. They're trying to go up, Sludge is trying to go above you to control a site, you know, everywhere up here. So it's nice to, even if you want to, you can roam up here. And if they're trying to come to Aqua door, you just start shooting at them a little bit, and they have to re-drone you, and you're vigil right. So you just keep, you want to waste time and pressure upstairs. You can even roam VIP side if you wanted to, Penthouse. It's up to you, but I would find a way to fall back if you're getting outnumbered. Try not to take too many gunfights if you don't need to. Then obviously if they're hitting site, you can come down the hatch. If it's not reinforced, you can come down. Cool vibes. Well, basically you're just trying to contest the attackers before they actually hit the site. If they're trying to hit sunrise, you can run out the kitchen window, run at this kitchen window, and shoot anybody coming through there. You can even wallbang someone through there, that window. Keep in mind of that. You want to hold off the service if you can. If they're pushing offices, either I would push the aqua hatch and start, you know, just shooting above them in vigiling mode. You can do that. You can flank service or security side, and there's just so many ways you can approach the site by retaking or just coming back in general. So that's why really having a lot of map knowledge is very important in a game like this. So that's it for kitchen, or not kitchen, blue bar. And let's actually move on to the last bomb site, Penthouse. Okay, so if we were to be anchoring on Penthouse, again, smoke is a really good pick, but I feel like I've been doing a lot of smoke. So let's move on to someone like Maestro. Maestro has the same abilities to make those rotates, but the thing about Maestro is he has a LMG for long range, and he has 2 bulletproof cams. So in general, if you are anchoring Penthouse, you want to be in Penthouse, or like somewhere in that area, because if you're off, you can't really anchor like in VIP, or, you know. But what I'm trying to say is that you want to be able to access the site if they were to drop the bathroom hatch or the window. So mostly how the round plays out in Penthouse is that attackers get on that window, attackers can take control of VIP, they either open up this wall or they drop the hatch and they start smoking off and planting. That's when you could have someone C4ing from below, and we'll get into that roam roll later. But if you were to have utility to bring to the site, I would recommend bringing Mute, Maestro, Jaeger, Smoke, all those kind of operators that can throw stuff and be denied information / the plant. So barbed wire right here is really important. Alarm for posting on social media. Barbed wire is right here, really good right here. That way they can't really get, you know, straight run-in access into the site, and they actually have to punch it before they have to come in. So really good major spots is if you punch this TV right here, you can actually just put a cam under here for the plant. And if you're another one, you know, you can get really creative. You can just put it wherever you want. That's really why I literally love Maestro. You can just get creative wherever you put your Maestro cams. And it's really nice to put your ADS, your cameras, behind a Jaeger device. That way, if someone does happen to ash charge it, it'll get caught up. And if you want, like right here, really good spot is right here, because you actually see the default plant right here, or behind the bomb. And It's really optional if you want to make a hole. That way you can crouch up to here. One of my favorite things to do is go smoke and put a shield right here and put an ADS right behind it. That way I can move up if I wanted to and get really close up as I want. And the wall, that man walls you also want to reinforce is I don't see people doing it enough. So you will obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you want to have all those walls reinforced, or you can forget, you can reinforce only off this side or one of that side, and you can save 2 reinforcements or 1 reinforcement for this wall right here. The reason why this wall is pretty important to reinforce off is because even if you do lose your line of sight into sight, or this area if you wanted to shoot from there, but people can sit on this window and they can shoot all the way down here, and they can actually see into the angle over there. I died to it many times, and I've done it too. So as an anchor, you want to make sure you call out, oh, a good major cam spot is actually in the 90 hallway right here. I forgot to mention that. Don't be afraid to put it even in that room over here, because if you put a major cam in here, you can shoot all, you can see you have all the access in here. So it's really good to put a major cam in here. I forgot to tell you guys that. As an anchor, you want to make sure you call out to the roamers if they're taking control of luggage. Is it a penthouse, a theater push, or is it how many have dropped the hatch? Do you need roamers to come back to site? You can call that out to your team, and hopefully roamers will come back to site and listen to you. But I'm going to explain the last part of the video, which is how to roam on Penthouse. This is really fun because you can do a lot of runouts, you can C4, you can even just come back to site and start lighting people up in the window. But like I said, you want to choose Penthouse kind of the last resort over many other bomb sites. People get it mixed up. Blue bar is not hard to defend. People think blue bar, oh, it's the worst site, blah blah blah. But Penthouse, in my opinion, is the worst site. It's because of how attacker sided it is, and it just, you're so limited to where you're able to sit in this room or two. But as a roamer, want to reinforce off these these walls, and put those bandits down if you want. But you want to know how the vertical play plays out. So this door right here, I'll shoot up the holes. So by having pre-placed C4s, also this is actually it's actually solid right here on the bathroom door. If you guys didn't know that, if they were to plant the default spot, you should know where that default spot is. And as a roamer, since you are not going to be inside that much, and you don't have a lot of utility to do, make sure you help out reinforcing. Help out the reinforcements. Anchors have other stuff that you need to do. But if you're like a Jaeger, you can do other stuff, which is fine. But where I like to roam is either like luggage side, aqua side, holding this whole entire part of the map here. That way you're able to fall back anywhere you need to. But this is kind of how a lot of people come in from, and you can kind of stop some people from getting control of this 90 hallway, and you can like catch them off guard right here. So I like to just waste time right here, because you also have a wall, so you're able to swing yourself if you need to, and all that kind of stuff. People will be joining you, and just wasting time is very, very important. So if you were to roam downstairs, you can kind of like catch the kinks of where the people are rushing in from. Are people always coming from offices, always coming in from certain part of the map? Counter that. You want to counter any, like, you want to delay the rush. You don't want to attackers get comfortable setting up. You want to basically disrupt the time, the amount of time it takes for them to get that bomb down. Yeah, but I guarantee you, a lot of ranked games go, they won't be getting the bomb down most of the time. So if the bomb is right here, right, I think this is the default spot right here, and you will catch anybody planting, which is actually right over there. If someone's planting in that default corner, just remember it's always the second stall right there. And if you wanted to, it might most likely will be nomaded. But if you were to run out, you can catch the window right here, or you can run to the main door right there. And another sneaky thing is you can run out in a VIP and jump out that balcony and shoot them up right here. But overall, it's just how the round goes out. It's really hard to predict how people will attack Penthouse. You just got to see what people are doing. But as a roamer, always, if your anchors are getting picked off, if there's a man disadvantage, you are kind of like the first line to have that man advantage and man count. So hope you guys enjoyed this Coastline defense video. This was a lot of fun for me to make. I always love giving map guides out like this, and yeah, just you know, keep grinding. You'll die to a lot of angles that you will not know, but that's the whole point of Siege. It's just learning from your mistakes, take accountability, stay optimistic. You know, rounds and games can really go rough, but what else can you do about it? Complaining is not going to do anything about it. So make sure to leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoy this video. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.